Finish
Welcome
football,
back.
JPM Sports. There you go.
If you're just watching us, Zamil and Annie this morning, and we are talking about this biennial Asia Pacific Blogger Awards. And to tell us more about these awards, Nicholas Chay, who is the country manager of Nuffnang, Malaysia. If you don't know Nuffnang, I don't know lah. You know. I'm one of a blogger. I'm one of them. I do a blog on Blogspot, so I know Nuffnang enough.
Let's talk about the award itself, Biennial Asia Pacific Bloggers Award. What is it all about?
Right. First of all, thank you for having me here.
Our pleasure.
Right. Nuffnang was founded in year 2007, right? And since then, today we have expanded to almost 7 countries now, right? So in year 2009, we were in 4 countries. So we were thinking to ourselves, hey, since we have the largest network of bloggers in Asia Pacific, why don't we recognize these bloggers across the region, right? So we came up with 12 major blog categories to award the best bloggers across the region, right? So the first Nuffnang Asia Pacific Blog Awards was held in Singapore. It was attended by about 400 bloggers, right? So this year, we've since expanded to 7 countries, and we are expecting about 500 bloggers this year from Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Australia, China, Hong Kong, and Thailand.
So what will the awards be based on?
The awards would be based on nominations, scoring from judges, and also, of course, by voting from the blog readers themselves.
Right. In terms of content?
In terms of content, blog
visuals.
layout, blog design, how interesting it is, interactivity.
Various categories that you're looking into.
Right. We have categories such as the best photography blog, the best food blogger, the best fashion blog, best parenting blog. Basically, 12 major categories that people talk about online.
I think one of the most famous bloggers who started out blogging and made it really famous, especially for Malaysian, is Kanisia, right?
That's right. That's right.
So tell us about his success as a blogger and what are the ways, because everyone knows, I mean, some people will know in the virtual world who Kanisia is, but he actually didn't have to work.
Yeah.
He's just a full-time blogger. So how does a full-time blogger actually earn income as a blogger?
All right. Okay. Contrary to popular beliefs, Kenny runs a gym in Kuching, Sarawak, right? At one point in time, he was very popular online. He is still popular today,
very popular, yes.
but he's less active today. Now, right? Kenny is humorous. Kenny is funny. So how he started building his blog audience was that he started spoofing popular bloggers online. For example, he spoofed one of the popular bloggers in Singapore. Her name is xiaxue.blogspot.com, right? And he also subsequently spoofed a few popular bloggers online, and these bloggers took notice of him, and they sort of linked him, promoted him on their blogs, and then that's sort of how it went viral after that.
So you spoof someone and then you become famous.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the categories in the awards that you're looking at here? How many categories are there?
We are looking at 12 categories. We have categories such as parenting, photography, food, lifestyle, fashion, geek, best geek blog. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Anything to do with technology. Yeah,
That's very interesting. Now, in between the 12 categories, as you mentioned, which is like the most well-received category, as in which would people go for?
Right. The thing about blogging is that in general, bloggers across the region, they talk about their daily lives. They talk about their lifestyle. They talk about the places that they've been.
What they do, where they go, right?
Food reviews and things like that. So the most popular category that we have is the best lifestyle blog category.
Right.
Yeah. Zamil, you mentioned that you have a blog.
Yes, I do.
What do you write about?
It's inactive at the moment. It's mainly of to say how I was involved with Malaysian Idol a long time ago, and what's life after that, and what I do, the shows that I've done. So basically, it's not so much of a personal thing. It's like, oh, I'm sitting at home, I'm lonely or something. No, I don't put that. It's more of my work.
Your experience.
Yeah. And of course,
no, I haven't started blogging.
I consider blogging as a tool for, let's just say, if someone wants to read your resume or they want your profile, then they say, oh, go to my blog.
Right.
Then they can see my work there, because you can put stuff there.
That's true.
Your videos, or the videos of you hosting and singing and all that.
I read his blogs.
Online TV, sort of.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
It's an online TV.
There is this myth that when you want to be a blogger, there's a myth that people say you have to be a writer to be a blogger. I mean, you need to be expressive. Is that true?
Expressive, yes.
As in, you need to write properly. As in, you have to stringing a sentence is fine for a lot of people, but you need to put that into, emotions and put it out into paper. And a lot of people feel that that's difficult because I can't write, some people say, whereas they can speak about it, but they can't write. So what's the myth behind this? I mean, is that true?
It's half true and not true. The beauty about blogging, right, is that you are your own editor, right? So basically you can just put anything on your blog, your thoughts, unfiltered. You don't have to be so strict about your language, for example. So that is the beauty of blogging versus, being a journalist, for example.
Right.
So the beauty about blogging is that, whatever your thoughts are, if you share them with your friends, it will attract an audience. And, I guess if you are interesting, if your friends want to find out what is going on in your life, naturally you will attract a pool of audience that would be interested in your blog.
That's very interesting because I remember this movie I watched, Julia. It's about Julia Stiles and this girl called Julia in the modern days who went back to Julia Stiles' books and recreated all her cooking recipes, and then she blogged about it. And she just blogged 365 days, that whole year. She decided to try one recipe a day, and she blogged about it. It was an amazing movie, but it's very interesting because she actually blogged about everything she did. The ups, the downs, the problems, the frustrations, the depression that she went through, going through these recipes. Is that exactly what you'd be looking for in the awards, sir? I mean, like, more emotions, or are you looking at just somebody generally blogging about whatever, parenting or food, for instance?
We have 12 different categories, and each category would be judged differently. Best photography blog, for example, these blogs would be judged on their pictures, right? The composition of it, whether their picture tells a story. How captivating it is, and on top of that, we also judge them on their blog layout, for example. How their readers interact with them. For example, how shareable are their content, for example, and things like that.
Well, before Facebook and Twitter came into the picture, a lot of people were out there blogging. How's the trend now? Are there more blogs being created online?
Okay, we still see very strong sign-ups within the Nuffnang community. As I mentioned earlier, Nuffnang is in 7 countries now. We represent over 1 million bloggers in the region, and we reach out to about 10 million blog readers in a day, right? Like as per Zamil mentioned, platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and probably Tumblr, Instagram, these are all micro blogging platforms, right? And today the blog scene has evolved to microblogging. A lot of people are on microblogs today. People tweet, people take pictures, people post stuff on Tumblr. So what we are seeing is that shift, and what we are also seeing is that there are more good content being produced on blogs, because the casual bloggers today, they are on platforms like Facebook and Twitter.
Yes. Do you think that blogging nowadays is, well, it's sort of like on a decreasing trend because they prefer to go on Twitter and it's only limited to only 140 characters or something like that, right? Yeah, it's getting shorter and shorter.
Yes, that's true.
Right. We don't see it as a decreasing trend. In fact, we see microblogging as something healthy for the blog scene in general, because the more casual bloggers have moved on to Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, right? And the more serious bloggers are people who generally like to create content. They still blog, they put more effort into their blogs, they put nicer pictures, they make more effort to interact with their readers, make their content more shareable.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Nicholas.
Thank you for sharing with
some
us
light
about
this
the awards.
And of course, good luck to all the nominees.
Thank you.
Right.
And you'll probably be nominated soon. Get it back on.
I have to start updating. Right. We're going to go on to this hot food segment with Azaria, and after that we have a special performance.
That's
so don't go away.
Stay with us.